M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
Question 1. WWE legend Edge joins rival AEW in shocking debut just 24 hours after his contract expired. The rated R superstar is now going by the real name Adam Copeland as joined AEW. He went on Wrestle Dream and saved Sting from his friend Christian Cage. The question I have to you guys, what does this mean for AEW? And what does this mean to the WWE? Opening it up, the champion, the player, Benny Scala. You are on in. I'm waiting for your clock. You're on. Go.
Yeah, I mean, what does it mean? To WWE, I don't think it really means much of anything. I mean, yeah, he came back from his broken neck, and he's had a few good years, and he's worked some good programs. But, I mean, let's face it, the guy's 50 years old. There's a lot of up-and-coming stars that need that time in the ring and on TV, and I think him stepping aside is actually going to be a good thing for all of them. And now as far as AEW, kind of depends. Now, I look at this as, you know, it's like you worked at a company like IBM for 30 years, and then you retire and you start working or you join a frat house, and you have to make that transition from, you know, the structured corporate environment to that frat house. And I think it'll be a good thing for the frat house if, and it's a big if though, if they value, because let's face it, AEW, some of the talent there has had a track record, Adam Page especially, of not giving these great legends their due. I mean, and Edge, I mean, geez, the guy's done everything by not listening. Hopefully, and I want to try to be positive, maybe they'll tap into his knowledge and his expertise. And I mean, the guy he still brings a lot to the table, still in incredible shape. And I think if they use him properly, it'll be a great thing for AEW.
All right, Benny, good job. Good job. Next up, the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow. We're going to call him Mr. Technical, like RVD. Jimmy, you're on the clock. Go.
Yeah, all right. Keep in mind, Mike, I can only hear you. I know I'm chewing up part of my answer, but that's the way it goes. What does this mean for AEW? Getting Edge. Whoopee, it's another grab. I mean, it's not bad for AEW. That's fine. What does it mean to WWE? Probably not too much. I'm starting to wonder, with all of these legends who seem to take off and go from the big pond to the wannabe big pond, I'm starting to wonder whether or not the WWE even cares anyway. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's personal anymore. This one doesn't feel personal. It's almost like, yeah, I guess we got nothing left for you to do, Edge. Yep. You want to go sail off into the sunset with your friend, go ahead. You know, I don't really think that it's any ground-shaking shit. And most importantly, this is great for Bruce, because now Bruce doesn't have to listen to Edge anymore on WWE programming. So maybe Bruce was behind this. I'm not sure. Bruce, are you laughing? I can't tell. I can't hear you. Anyway.
Absolutely.
It's just another day at the office. This is just one more change. Do I think it's going to make a huge impact either way? Nope, not at all. Not really. And Edge had run his course. WWE has got a lot of up-and-coming guys. What do they need Edge around for? It is what it is. It's kind of funny, though. It feels like 2 blinks ago that Edge just got here, and Mike and I were talking about fans crying, and, oh, my God, it's Edge. I haven't seen him in so many years. Boy, it almost feels kind of anticlimactic. One of these days we'll have a topic, was Edge's return even, what it was supposed to be?
Good job, Jimmy. Good job. Well done, sir. Up next, Mr. Last Place, Bruce from ESO.
All right. So, who's this Adam Copeland guy that came out there? Well, it's no secret that I am not an Edge fan, and I haven't been since the days of the Edge and Christian 5-second pose. When they were together, they were great. After that, I don't think Edge was the needle mover a lot of people give him credit for. His angle with Matt Hardy and back in the early 2000s was one of the reasons I kind of turned off WWF. But one of the things he just said was that he didn't need the WWE. He wanted to end the WWE character, and that was one of the reasons that character was dead, and he wants to reinvent himself and do something new. Well, if that was dead, why did he bring the rated R superstar and keep his music? It doesn't make much sense. One of the reasons I didn't like him is he really seeks that limelight. He seeks that pop. He came back in one year. He came back like 5 times. He seeks that attention. In his country, he's a tremendous draw in his own country. That's why the WWF or WWE ended his run in his own country. I'm a little. I think he should have put some more people over on his way out of WWE, but that's a whole nother thing. He's below what the WWE needs at this time, but he's way better than 90% of what AEW has. He's better than what 90% of the AEW roster is drawing. Not really surprised. He signed with AEW. They're trying to collect all this talent from the early 2000s WWF. 20 years later, this
That's it, Bruce.
Cage.
All right, Bruce. Considering how much you hate Edge, got a little struggle out of you today. What happened there, bud?
Well, I could have kept going. That's the problem.
All right, Phil. You got a wide open cave here. Number 4. Plenty of room, plenty of points. What does Edge to AEW mean to pro wrestling?
I think it means a lot to pro wrestling, certainly to AEW, to have someone of his experience coming in and to kind of serve as a learning tree for some of these athletes who have very similar styles to Edge. Got a lot of possibilities in terms of booking. One thing, he can kind of ease into a more of a full-time schedule, such as it is in AEW, and it's a reduced schedule, I think, compared to WWE, which will give him some longevity. But I think that he'll be able to actually work in some tag teams too. There are more opportunities, and work with people he knows. I know we mentioned Matt Hardy. There's always that dynamic there. In fact, the Hardys are still there as far as I know. And I think eventually we'd all love to see Edge and Christian against the Hardys again. But having tag teams and having a strong Canadian presence there is very important too. I think he can go in limitless directions there. I think he did his time in WWE. I don't think there was much left for him at the time and with the current cast of characters. And, maybe WWE is looking at the neck issue, maybe thinking, he could be a liability potentially. And they certainly don't want to sign him to a long-term contract, and that's understandable too. But I think he's going to flourish in AEW. I think he's going to give some new blood there. I think we're going to see Christian and he reunite again, certainly. I think the fans are into him big time. I think it's kind of cool to hear his name, and for the first time ever, the fans were chanting Adam, which is kind of a unique thing too.
Well done, Phil.
I think it's be a way to...
Well done, Phil.
Thank you.
Good points on the neck. Ooh. Good points on the tag team. The one thing I will say, him coming to AEW opens up that tag team wrestling. There's so many, I guess, for the wrestling fan, dream matches. All right, question 2, guys. WrestleMania main event. The WWE is now opening up a whole bunch of different options.